Merry Christmas. Welcome to CBC Next. I'm here with my wife, Tori Wayman. And before we get started on our Christmas memories, I've got one and she's got one. I thought you might want to know a couple things about Tori that even after a long time, you might have gone here for 8 years and not known these things about her. So give us 3 things that people might not know about you.
Okay, I've got 3 good ones.
Okay.
So the first one, I don't know if everyone knows this, but I'm actually from Missouri.
Yep.
I lived in Missouri for most of my life before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the second one is a deep, what do they call it? A deep track. I was actually a phlebotomist for a while, and I went into people's homes and drew their blood and did insurance exams.
Yep. She's always trying to look at my veins for some reason.
So that was really interesting. I really enjoyed that a lot, even though it was really hard. But then the third one is really cool. My dad actually won the entire showcase showdown of The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Back when we first were married. So.
Yeah, you'll have to ask her about that because it's a funny story.
Yeah.
Also, people might not, like, what is special about Missouri? It's St. Louis, you got the Arch, right?
Yeah.
The Show Me State. Do you know why they call it that?
So our school mascot was the mules.
Yes,
It
right.
was stubborn, stubborn hard workers. You
Yeah.
have to show me. I'm
Show
not
me.
just going to believe you.
It's the flattest place you've ever seen in your life.
Only some of it. A lot of it.
Well, where you lived, it was. It was just cornfields and cotton fields.
Cotton, a lot of cotton
That was
fields.
something I had never seen until we went, started going there. And your dad was a pastor there for
36
36 years. And so you might not know that she's a pastor's
Yeah.
kid too. So yeah, that's some fun things. Yeah, and then ask to hear that she would love to tell you the story about The Price is Right. So,
Yes.
well, let's jump into Christmas memories. Christmas
Okay.
is a big deal for your family, and as it
Absolutely.
is for most people. But what is something that you remember from Christmas?
Okay, I actually have 2. I have a really funny one that I can't really relate back to Jesus in any way, so I'm going to tell that one first.
Okay. I'll see if I can do it.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure you can. So one year, so we were always an artificial tree family, right? We had really nice artificial trees, the old school kind that had the color coding, and you had to look at every branch and see
Oh,
which
okay.
level
Yeah.
it goes on. I saw a reel about that the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's the kind of tree we had. So we were always an artificial tree family. Well, one year we decided to go out into the forest and cut one ourselves, not at a Christmas tree farm,
Oh, wow.
the actual forest. So,
I don't know if you can do that.
well, I think it was my grandparents' land.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can do that.
So we went up to my grandparents' land and in Elsinore, Missouri, a tiny little town. And we found what we thought was this beautiful Christmas tree. So we cut it down, we bring it home, and before we take it inside, my parents say, we're going to just trim this tree and make it look perfect before we bring it inside. So I will never forget looking out the door. And they kept cutting and cutting and trimming and trimming. Well, this side's a little off. Well, wait a minute. Now this side's a little off. Well, now this side's a little off, until there was almost nothing left of the tree.
Right.
And we were all just laughing hysterically, put up the artificial tree.
Yeah.
And so that was
hilarious.
such a hilarious memory.
Yeah. So in life, perfectionism can hurt us.
There you go.
Right? And if you want everything to be perfect, in the end, you're going to cut some things out of your life that would have been beautiful.
There you go.
But that is a common mistake. My parents, we grew up with big Christmas trees, and really we ended up not even trying to shape anything because
Right.
you're just taking, now, you did position the tree in just the right way. Well, this one needs to be in the corner,
Yes.
so it can hide both of these bald spots. But
Yes.
yeah, but then when we got married, we started with a real Christmas tree. And you remember how we got rid of it?
Remember in the apartment?
Yeah, we lived in an apartment, and we were dumb kids, didn't know / also didn't really care to find out how you got rid of a Christmas tree once
And
it
you
started.
were at work.
Yes,
And
right.
I just wanted to get it done, but it was way
Right.
too heavy. We lived on the 3rd floor
Right.
at an apartment complex.
Yeah.
A walk up. So one day while you were at work, I took scissors and trash bags and completely cut the entire tree and put it in a trash bag.
Oh my God.
And took it out by myself to the garbage.
One bag at a time.
Yep. I thought that was pretty inventive.
It worked.
It did.
And I didn't have to do anything,
You
so
didn't
that
have
was
to do
nice.
anything.
So what's your other one?
Okay, so my other one is when we were little, my dad, we would play hide the ornament, and we would take turns hiding the ornament around the house, and we would try and go find it. So I remember specifically one time my dad took the ornament, and we looked everywhere. I have a brother that's 22 months younger than me. He still lives in Missouri. And we looked everywhere for this ornament and couldn't find it. And finally, after a long time, my dad said, look up. And so we looked up, and he had put the ornament in the fan. And he said something to the effect of, whenever you can't find what you need, look up.
Yeah.
And I still remember that to this day, and how when we're in trouble and we're looking all around us and we can't find what we need, look to God and pray to Him.
Yeah.
So that was something I still remember from a long, long time ago.
That's cool. And don't take for granted the fact that kids are listening, and even those things that we might even feel a little bit silly as parents to turn into a lesson. Sometimes those things are the things that could stick with them more than lectures or things like that. Little pictures and word, just living life together and seeing Jesus.
I actually just saw a statistic that said that it takes kids several hundred times to actually learn something of doing it.
Right.
But through play, it only takes a couple dozen times.
Right.
And I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
Actually playing with your kids to help teach them these biblical ideas helps cement it in their brain even faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea. So for me, I grew up, I have three brothers, and but there's a big space between the older two brothers and the younger two brothers. So probably about, 12 years old, the older two had already left the house. And one Christmas, my parents, or really, to be honest, it was my mom. Yeah, we probably all have that one parent that is really into doing stuff, and the other one enjoys watching everybody do it, but somebody puts it together. Anyway, my mom thought for this big present, she wanted to do a scavenger hunt. And so my brother and I, the little brother and I, were going around the house doing all these silly things and finding little notes behind the couch or out in the mailbox or wherever it was, to the end, it being a PlayStation and, this big gift. And I remember playing Crash Bandicoot and all these games that are now considered classic for Noah, but it reminded me of, and we talked about this today, as we film this on Sunday, about Mary, and those instructions and the things that we get from God sometimes that don't make sense. And there's a lot of things. If you're a Christian for very long and you don't have things that you see in God's word that you're like, I don't know if I like that part, then you're not reading it close enough.
Right.
And also, or you're reading it through the eyes of your wants and desires. Because there are some things in God's word that are confusing. There's some things God asks us to do that are confusing. And in the world that we live in, that's the question that we need to ask ourselves is, if there's something in God's word that I don't like, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to try to explain it away? Am I going to try to fit it somehow into culture? Or am I going to say, well, this might be proof that somebody whose ways are higher than my ways, whose thoughts are higher than my thoughts, might have wrote this thing. And so I'm always a little bit comforted when there's things in God's word. They're like, man, that seems, you want me to forgive how many times?
Right.
God? Like hundreds of times? But that's not good for me, and for my self-esteem or whatever, but that's what God's word says, and he's very clear about it. And there's other, multitudes of things that you can, he opens God's word and say, you want me to love my enemies, but what about, my agenda and my personal, and all kinds of things, even more things about sex outside of marriage, all these things like, well, how are we going to know this? How are we going to understand if we fit as a couple? And there's so many things in God's word that we have to make the decision. If it's between what I think and what God thinks, who wins? Mm-hmm. And that's surrender. And that's becoming a follower of Jesus and an apprentice of Jesus and saying, I don't super understand why you do this, God, but when there's a tiebreaker, you win every time. And so that reminded me just of running around the house and, being worried maybe that this was going to be a lollipop, after all this rigmarole of this scavenger hunt. But anyway, yeah, that's a Christmas memory that me and my little brother Dan have, who is actually bigger than me, but everybody is. So anyway, well, hey, we love you so much, church, and hey, we would love if you've got a cute little story or a memory that you want to share today down in the comments of some Christmas memory that you might have, that also how you would tie it to Jesus. We also want to encourage you to take some time, and if you've still got kids in the house or grandkids in the house, hey, find a little lesson to share with them and connect it to Jesus. And even unwrapping gifts or hanging Christmas or the lights that we're God, Jesus is the light of the world, and now that he's come, we're supposed to be the light of the world. Those little lessons can make such a big difference.
I heard a few years ago, and now we've done it for several years, where before you open your Christmas gifts, you tell the kids, now, none of us deserve any of these gifts. None of us did anything to get these gifts. We are giving these to you because we love you, and we're giving these to each other because we love each other. And that's just like Jesus did for us. Yeah. God gave us Jesus because he loves us, and not because we did anything to deserve it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a neat.
Absolutely. And maybe 30 years down the road, your child will sit with somebody and say, here's my Christmas memory, and this is how I connected to Jesus. So, hey, we love you so much, church. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're excited to see you tonight at the Christmas Eve service. So be here and be ready. Make room for someone, and let's celebrate Christ.